Hi everyone, welcome to Mind Power Monday. I hope you're having a great day so far and that you had a really wonderful weekend as well, doing whatever it is that makes you happy. Perhaps there was some real estate in there, some family, friends, fun, whatever it was. I hope you had a fantastic time. I'm Melanie Robinson and I am a real estate investor just like the rest of you. I've done several different strategies over the years, from BRRRRs to new builds, good morning, to foreclosures and long-term buy and holds. Right now I am super laser focused on joint venture partnerships and have some hefty goals for myself. Good morning, Jasmine. Good morning. I don't know how to pronounce it. Is it Mir? Hopefully I pronounced that properly. Mir. Anyhow, right now I am super laser focused on reaching some goals with regards to joint venture partnerships. So that's my focus right now in the real estate investment world. I am building a fourplex over in Nanaimo and do flips and all sorts of different things as well. But today really got me super clear. Good morning, Deb. In my talk with you guys on priorities, which is what we're going to talk about today, really had me wanting to share that is what I'm laser focused and crystal clear on for priorities right now. So that's me as a real estate investor. Why am I, as a real estate investor, sharing Mind Power Mondays with you? I do have a background in NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. Good morning, everyone. And so we have a family business that I worked with my mom for, I think it was about 20 years, and offering coaching, training, consulting to high-level business executives and people who are wanting to take things to the next level, and really recognizing that it's what's going on in here that often is what's stopping us from reaching that next level of success. So we can all learn the skills that we need to learn in whatever trade or field that we're in, but the one sort of consistent thing between everyone who is really super successful or takes, whatever your definition of super successful is, but those that are achieving excellence, they really master their mind, their thoughts, and that aspect of who they are and what they bring to whatever career they have. So that's what I'm passionate about sharing with you with regards to real estate investing. Is there's all these incredible teachers, mentors. Corey and Tiffany are amazing at sharing what they share with regards to how to joint venture and raise capital so that you can, build your success in the real estate investing world, because all of us can only get so far by ourselves. So there's a lot of learning from that perspective. What I want to share with you is, in combination with that, what might be going on in here that might be limiting you in some way, maybe stopping you from getting to that next level of success that you're wanting to get to. So that's why I share what I share. I love it. The other piece of that is when you learn how the mind works, another big focus becomes how you can enjoy it. Because for me, life is, meant to be enjoyed. So a lot of times we torture ourselves with what's going on in our mind, the things we're saying to ourselves, the way we're thinking about things, and we don't even realize it. And so yes, I want to help you reach that next level of success and figure out what might be stopping you. But I also really want to help you enjoy the process. Recognize what you're thinking and saying to yourself, how you're perceiving things, and those sorts of things really affect your enjoyment of it. And as Corey and Tiffany say all the time, you want to be in this for the long haul. This is not sort of a short-term get-rich-quick scheme. This is you're in it for the long haul. And in order to be in it for the long haul, you've got to learn how to enjoy yourself. You've got to learn how to get control of your thoughts so that you truly can, enjoy the process, create the success, build the relationships, all of those things that are a really super important part of being a real estate investor. So there you have it. That's me. That's why I share this. Love it every single Monday. And it really does help me get focused and stay on top of myself as well. So yesterday I posted, as I often do in the Fearless group, how can I be of service? What are the challenges that people are facing? How can I best support you? Because I can come up with a million different topics, but if there's something that's specifically going on for you right now, then I want to share what I can share that might be able to help. So the theme yesterday that came up, and very interestingly, by a number of you, were priorities. And I know, in a one-on-one setting, I would be wanting to find out what specifically that meant. I have to kind of guess what you all meant by wanting help with priorities, because I could go in a million different directions. But what I thought I would share with you for today is priorities sort of in two forms. So one is Natalie. I don't know if you're watching, but hopefully you catch the replay if you're not on here this morning. One was, as a new real estate investor, there's so many different strategies, so much to learn, so much possibility. Like, how do you laser focus on one thing, or or dabbling in all of those different things? How do you prioritize? How do you deal with that? Because there is so much. And I know that is a really big, a big challenge, I'll say, or a big thought in new investors and seasoned investors' minds. I mean, I think I'm somewhere in between new and seasoned. But I definitely am always thinking about that, because as we learn something new, it's exciting and we want to jump in. So I want to deal with things from that perspective, kind of on the big picture, strategy and that sort of thing. And then I also wanted to address it on the day-to-day, like how do you prioritize in a day-to-day? Now, keeping in mind that my focus is on the mindset, but I'm going to share a little bit about both of those today, and hopefully that will help you with regards to prioritizing, because I know that all of you are super committed to your success, and prioritizing can be challenging. So first of all, let's talk about the big picture prioritizing, and that being the strategies or that kind of thing. And what I would say the really important piece about this is, and I go back to this time and time again every Monday, and Corey and Tiffany talk about it a lot, talk about it in boot camp. It's a huge part of boot camp, but that is connecting with your why. So when you're really clear, so connecting with comes after you get clarity on. So you need to figure out, why are you doing this in the first place? What are your, there's your why and there's your goals, and it's all, for me, kind of intertwined into one. But oh, look at all these heart showers. I love you guys. You're awesome. It's kind of all intertwined into one. So, or lots of different pieces that can come together in your mind. So it's, why are you doing this in the first place? Why do you want to go through all of this and work hard and learn and grow and build relationships? Why? What is it out there in your future that you're wanting to achieve? Is it freedom? Is it helping family members? Is it, providing for your kids and your parents? Is it traveling? Is it, what is it for you? Because that is going to really help you focus in on what it is, what are your priorities with regards to real estate investing. Because you can ask yourself, so whether it's, and that's why I say it's kind of twofold. So you have the big picture, the why, the freedom, the travel, the certain amount of money each month in retirement income, helping your kids, university, all those different things that it might be. And then there might be smaller goals, more short-term goals, like I want to, create one more joint venture partnership by the end of this year. I want 17 joint ventures in total by the end of next year. And then I have, my retirement goals. So you have sort of all of these different things that are all really important to think about, because these are your why. This is what drives you. And here's the really important, or one of the really important pieces. You can ask yourself daily, and even moment by moment, is this going to move me closer to my why, closer to what it is that I want to achieve, closer to my goal for the end of this year or the end of next year or the end of in 5 years? Is it going to move me closer? Because that helps you prioritize. And I know it seems really simplistic and maybe not the answer that you're looking for, but it's a really super important piece, because we can get busy doing all sorts of different things that get us nowhere closer to where we want to go. But we're just sort of making busy because we're getting distracted by the shiny objects, distracted by this course, distracted by that course, this webinar, watch that YouTube video, all of these things. But if watching that is going to move you closer, well then perfect. And if not, if you ask yourself that question, it will help you make decisions as to whether or not that's valuable use of your time. So that's a really important piece. The other piece is, and this is another, I think, really important one, and other coaches, mentors, trainers might think differently, but a really big one for me was you don't need to, so I'm speaking about, picking your strategy and all of the different amazing options that are available to us in the world of real estate investing. And there are so many different possibilities, and that can have us feeling like we don't know where to focus our attention. And what I want you to remember is you don't have to pick something that's forever. You're picking your focus for right now. What's the strategy I want to do right now? Or what's the next deal I want to do? What do I want that to look like? Where is my focus? You're not locked into this forever. I think sometimes we feel like, oh my gosh, I need to, figure out, am I legalizing, am I buying bungalows and legalizing basement suites with joint venture partners in Edmonton? Or am I, am I looking for motivated sellers? Or am I, gonna flip? Or am I, what area? I mean, all of these different questions that do need to be decided on, but what you decide today doesn't mean that's what you're deciding on forever. So instead of getting sort of lost in the feeling like you need to make a decision and not knowing where to prioritize your time because you don't know, you need to learn more, how about you just pick one? Just pick what you're going to focus on right now, because you have the rest of your life to focus on something else. You're not locked in. So I think that's my key, is that I think we can torture ourselves. So when I'm talking about our mind, I think we can unknowingly torture ourselves by lying to ourselves or thinking that we need to have it all figured out today in order to take action. No, you don't need to. You just need to figure out, what are you going to focus on right now? Keeping in mind your why, your end goal, what it is that you're wanting to achieve, keeping in mind your smaller term, shorter term goals, keeping all of that in mind. What are you going to do today that's going to move you one step closer? So now let's get into, now that we've talked about sort of the big picture, which it is, if you haven't sat down and taken the time to really get clear on your why, create some goals, short-term and long-term, because those are the things that are going to motivate you. And that's how you figure out where, oh, look at your heart showers. That's how you figure out and prioritize what's most important and how best can you spend your time. It has to be connected to something. Otherwise, you just get lost in the daily shuffle and you get lost in the shiny object and you're not focused in any one direction. So that's the big picture. I really urge you, if you haven't taken the time to do that, to take the time to do that. And then the next piece of that puzzle, so to speak, is the day-to-day prioritizing. And that is something that people can get, I think, really overwhelmed by all the different things that they have on their plate, all of the different things that they need to be doing. If you're an Ignited member and you need to watch the trainings and read the documents and you need to analyze properties and you need to learn how to do the cash flow sheet and you need to look at properties and build relationships with your investor-focused realtor and mortgage broker. I mean, it can go, you can go crazy. So what you want to do is bring it down to what is, and there I think Shelly just mentioned it just popped up, but what is the one thing that you need to be doing? What is your priority right now? You need to get yourself focused. So one of the things that I wanted to share is a couple of things which you may or may not know, and these aren't so much mindset, but what they do is they clear your mind. You need to have strategies in place to clear your mind out so that you can focus and so that you can move forward and keep yourself moving forward. Now, the idea of picking one thing is fantastic, but in my opinion, not necessarily realistic. Now, the reason I say that is because in your day-to-day life, you have lots of different things that you need to be looking at. So you may have one thing in this moment, or you may have one thing big picture, like, I'm going to look for a single family home that I can suite and find a joint venture partner. Like, you might have one thing like that. But if you think that you can only focus on one thing, it might, again, set you up to feel overwhelmed or feel like you're doing something wrong or feel like you're not able to prioritize, because we are human beings with lots of different moving parts. So that's why I wanted to share with you some actual strategies to make it that you're not overwhelmed when you're looking at all of the different things. And what we actually literally are doing is we're looking at all of them at once, and we're looking at all of them at once. Holy crow, that's completely overwhelming for anybody. So that what I always share with people is you want to brain dump that. You want to get that somewhere so then you can start to focus on one thing at a time. Because like I said, we're humans, we have lots of different things. So one of the things that I don't use, but I wanted to share with you because I know it really is effective, and I'm sure lots of you, almost all of you, have heard of Stephen Covey and his priority matrix. So this is, you can find them online, but it allows you to make sort of a chart for your day, which is breaking things down, that, you know, what's important and what's not important, what's urgent and what's not urgent. And I love how it's like the firefighting, you know, quality time, distraction, or time wasting. So you can actually take the things that you need to do and put them into the different quadrants, and then that will help you focus and really recognize what are the things that are priority, what are really important, and what are not. So that's just one little tip I wanted to share with you that you can look up online if that feels like that might help you prioritize and organize your day and your life with regards to real estate. Now here's my not pretty way that I deal with things to organize myself and take away the overwhelm and help me prioritize what I need to focus on. So bear with the mess because it's not pretty. But this is how I do it. I divide a page into sections. You can see that. And what I do is I break them down into properties, basically for me, and what needs to happen on each of those properties. So I've got a flip that's on the market. There's certain things that I need to do, bills I need to pay, strata I need to check in with, you know, different things like that. I've got a new build happening in Nanaimo, so then I'm dealing with financing and lenders and like all sorts of different things to do with that I need to do. So I've broken it down into like property, and you know, I have some meetings this week with potential joint venture partners. So I break it down like that. And then I have one for personal. So that's like my daughter needs fabric for her sewing class and different things. So I can have it all at a glance, everything that is a priority to me right now, because all of these things need to get done, but it's out of my head so I don't feel overwhelmed. And now I can look at, okay, I'm going to deal with the flip right now. And I go through what needs to get done. I put stars beside the things that absolutely have to get done today. But this is just a strategy for me. I have no idea if that's helpful to you, but that's how I get everything from my brain onto a piece of paper, all the priorities that need to happen, and I can then go through property by property or project by project, and I don't feel like anything's going to get lost. So keeping in mind that I'm always checking in with myself, you know, is this going to move me closer to my goal? I mean, my family, you know, my personal or family commitments, absolutely. That's why I'm on this planet in the first place. So let's, you know, that is super important to me. You know, with regards to the properties, some of the things maybe I don't have to do right now. And then I question myself. So you're always wanting to bring it back to, is this moving me closer to where I want to get? Is this moving me closer to a goal? You know, and that is to me what prioritizing is. So what is all that babble that I just shared, and how can I summarize that for you? The summary of all of this is we torture ourselves when we're looking at everything all at once. We're torturing ourselves when we're looking at every strategy that's possible within real estate investing all at once. We're torturing ourselves if we think about all the different things that we can learn within this world of real estate investing. And we can torture ourselves with thinking of every single thing that we need to do in our lives right now. Creates overwhelm, creates stress, creates not enjoyment, and we're not happy and potentially even paralyzed from all of that and don't take action. So what are my suggestions? My suggestions are really super, super important to always stay connected to your goals and your why. You want to, every morning you want to connect with that. Every evening you want to connect with that. In the middle of the day, if you're feeling overwhelmed, you want to connect with that. It's a regular practice. And the way I do it, and I'll do it on another Mind Power Monday, and I have shared it before, but it's really important to feel the success of that goal, that outcome, that why. You want to be able to taste it. You want to go through all of your senses and get everything engaged. It's not just words on a piece of paper or saying things. You want to connect with it. It's got to be real to you. It's got to drive you enough to do all this crazy stuff that we do as real estate investors. So that's the one piece. If you haven't done it, or you've done it in the past, but you've forgotten to do it lately, or you don't do it on a daily basis, really connect with your why and connect with those goals, because those are going to help you decide whether things are a priority or not. Natalie, specifically to you and to all of the other people who are feeling like they can't decide what, that there's so much going on and they need to focus. Remember, what you choose right now is not the rest of your life. That's where you're going to choose to focus your attention right now, to take your first action, to get that next property. So don't feel locked in. Know that you're making a decision right now, and there's flexibility. You can change that at any time. It just, again, helps you prioritize and get laser focused on where you're going to focus your attention right now. And then when it comes to your day-to-day life, yes, you do want to focus on one thing to a degree that is really helpful, and however that works for you, to do that. But also to remember and not feel bad, or like you're not. I think people beat themselves up because they feel like they do have so many different things on the go and that isn't focused. But the reality is, we're humans. And if we are wanting to build a portfolio, we are not going to have one property to focus on. We're going to have all sorts of properties. We're going to have all sorts of relationships to build. We're going to have all sorts of fires to put out. We're going to have all sorts of different things. So that is the reality. So then how do we deal with that reality? How do we make it that we can enjoy that reality and we can stay sane and happy and organized? And that comes down to the strategies. How can you record things for you? Is it Stephen Covey's, little priority matrix? Is it a messy or a nicer version of this for me and how I do that? How can you make something work for you where you can prioritize your days and your time, connect everything back to your goal and your why, and kill this thing called real estate investing? Anyhow, hopefully that helped you in some way. I know it's not the tasks of prioritizing, but a big piece of prioritizing is the mental aspect of it. It's how are we thinking about this? What are we saying to ourselves? How are we mapping it out in our brain? Because that creates how we feel, that creates the action that we can take, that creates, our happiness and all of it. It creates all of it. So there you have it. Priorities, probably not what you were thinking you would get from me, but all super important pieces of creating our success and feeling good while we do it. So there you have it, Mind Power Monday. Let me know. I will read your comments. You're welcome. And share back. Please let me know how this goes, how this helps. If there's things you want me to expand on this in a future Mind Power Monday. I think I say this every week, but please reach out to me. Send me a message. Comment in here. I am here to support you in breaking through whatever mental blocks you might have, in recognizing the power that you have in here. You've got amazing mentors in all sorts of different areas with regards to learning real estate investing. I want to help you learn about this so you maximize this to create the results that you want in your business and in your life. So have an amazing, amazing week, everyone. And I will see you next Monday, if not sooner. Alrighty, bye.